back inside the Carson Student Athletes Center, joined now by Arizona State women's basketball coach Natasha Adair, and certainly an exciting season to come for the women's basketball program. First off, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt. And it's less than a month away somehow. I'm not sure how we've already got here already.
I know.
November 4th is the opener against Jacksonville State. That'll be here in Tempe.
Yes.
So, of course, fans, be
we
ready.
Need everyone to come out November 4th, opening night. You don't want to miss it.
No doubt. And we'll talk more about, the team, and let's kind of dive into that. So, summer practices, summer workouts. I know there are a lot of new faces. Those are all in the past. Now you're in your preseason practices.
Yes.
How's everything rolling with this new squad?
You see the smile on my face, even though they may not see it as much as the fans do right now, but it's just energy. It's excitement. When you are in the gym and you don't have to coach effort, when you don't have to coach the competitiveness, you know you have something special. But again, we have leaders, we have depth, we have size, we have experience. We only have one freshman. So it's very familiar to a lot of the players this time of year, amping up for opening night. But what I love is just how hard they're working. When they come in June and we're starting to build this new team, this chemistry, 8 new players, culture, how can we feed the culture? How can we really instill the values, the principles, the standards of the program right away? And so, I can't say her name enough, Ty Skinner, and I know we're going to talk about it a little later, but just having her back on the floor, someone who obviously has been with me her whole career, she knows it, but there's so many other players emerging.
Right.
And that's what I'm excited about, because it's not just her. She doesn't have to do it by herself.
Yeah.
This is a special group, and I say it, the coaches, we meet every day about it. When I'm watching film and I'm watching practice film, we're really working on just the X's and O's. We don't have to coach anything else. And that is a coach's dream, when you have that buy-in, when you have that energy, when you have that competitiveness every day. It's building for something special. You
kind of just alluded to that, and you would know it much better than me, of course, with your past, but there are a few things you always hear coaches say this. You can't necessarily teach effort, competitiveness, or experience. And you just said all 3 of those things are with your roster now. What is that like as a coach, knowing you've got all those pieces?
Well, you know that on game day they're going to be ready. You know on game day that they're going to be focused. You know that they're going to have this will to win, because they've been there, they've done it. And in so many instances, we have 5th years, we have seniors, and so they know also that they're on that other side, right, of their career almost. But it's just, my staff did an amazing job as soon as the season ended. They went out on the recruiting trails. They identified what we talked about, what we needed, what were must-haves, and not just talent, but people, because we will never compromise, character and culture and integrity. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my staff, because they did a phenomenal job in identifying every aspect of what we need to win.
And it takes every single person in the program, from you all the way down to the managers and everything in between. I know that's important in a day in and day out role. And like we said, it's under a month away, but every single day until November 4th.
We're counting down. Yeah, we are crossing it off the calendar. It was so funny. One of our players, Jazzion Jackson, a transfer from Texas Tech, said the other day, she said, "Coach, I remember we were it was 72 days, and now we're less than a month." And you see her face just light up. This is a team that's not going to be nervous on game day. This is a team that is chomping at the bit. And so, fans, if you haven't got your season tickets, get them. November 4th, opening night, we need you in the building.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, of course, opening up with non-conference on November 4th, and then right before the new year with Big 12 play, the first year being in the Big 12. So let's talk about the Big 12. Obviously a conference known for rich basketball history, and there are some big programs in that conference. What kind of an opportunity is it for your program to join that league and hopefully make some noise in the Big 12?
Well, I think it's phenomenal. The one thing when we were making that move to the Big 12, as a coach, you're looking at the competitiveness, right? Is this the conference on a national scale that's going to be the stage for our student athletes? Are we going to get that national recognition? Are we going to get that competitiveness every night in the Big 12? Yes, right? This is a conference that sent 8 teams to the postseason. So coming from a conference that did the same thing. You don't lose that competitive edge. You don't use the national branding. You don't lose that at all. If anything, for us, it broadens our recruiting scope.
Right.
Now we can tell families that you can see us literally on every time zone, and so you won't miss, Sun Devil women's basketball playing and competing, but it's gonna be a gauntlet.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, night in and night out, and you'll see some of the preparation in our non-conference opponents, getting us ready for Big 12 play, but there is no night off, and that's what you want as a coach and as a competitor, and that's the team that we have to be able to compete every night in the Big 12.
I'll tell you what, if you didn't have your season tickets yet,
you better get them. I'm just telling you.
She's selling me, right? I'll already be there, but I'm like, can I buy season tickets anyways? Let's move on now to something your team's doing next weekend.
Yes.
That's going up to Camp T, which is a really special opportunity. Of course, Sun Devils know Camp T because of the football program.
Correct.
That's been a tradition all the way dating back to Frank Kush and the legacy that he made there at Camp Tonazona. Your program's going up there next weekend. Tell us kind of the motivation, the thought process. Why is that going down?
Well, you just said the word tradition. And being a Sun Devil and understanding traditions and what's important, this is a great opportunity. I talked to you about this team is new. We have 8 new players, and as we're building that chemistry and that culture, we have to just continue to learn more about one another. And we saw how, I know football has done it and how it's just really promoted the culture and community within the program. And that's something I want to continue to promote within ours. And so let's go away. We don't have to go too far. Hopefully the weather will be nice. It'll be a little cooler than what it is here, but it just gives us another opportunity, one, to stay with tradition, but two, to just be together as a team right before we tip off. And again, we're going to do team bonding, obviously, team rules, all these different things that we're going to do, but it's just more about building that culture, that togetherness, and why not do it and stay with tradition?
Well, and I'll say this, I don't know what could bring a group closer than being up in the mountains, beautiful northern Arizona.
Bonfire, right?
Stars will be shining.
Exactly. We're reading a John Gordon book, so we will review our book while we're up there around the bonfire.
I love it.
It'll just be, those are the moments that when you look back as a student athlete, you'll remember certain games, you'll remember certain experiences and moments. But it's these moments.
Sure.
It's the sisterhood, it's the relationships, and it's just, they'll have those stories. Hey, remember when we went up to Camp T? And that's what we want to continue to build and promote within our culture.
It's so special. You mentioned the 8 newcomers coming into the program, but let's talk about Ty Skinner, because as you said, she's been with you since day one of her college career at Delaware.
That's my day one.
She's now here in Tempe. Her chance now to come back on the floor after missing all of last year due to that tough knee injury.
Yes.
I mean, as her head coach, but I know she means more to you than just as a student athlete.
It's like my child. She literally is. Ty is everything, and she's a heartbeat. She's the soul. She's the example. She's relentless. She's a competitor. She's a warrior, but she cares. She is, and she's driven. I can't wait for you all to talk to her, hear from her, but she is someone that is so on purpose and driven. And she has this list of things that she wants for herself, for our team. But she's also a kid that, Coach, we're going to get it done. I promise you we're going to do this. And every day at the end of practice, we brag on a teammate. And it's something I kind of stole from Debbie Antonelli, the 4 B's of communication. But we brag on a teammate. And when you go around the circle every day and you hear, Ty, I want to brag on Ty for her leadership. I want to brag on Ty for bringing energy today. I want to brag on Ty for playing defense. I want to brag on Ty. And again, not that she needs it, but she's the example. And to have someone that's the example that is selfless but gives everything to the team, and for her to hear it from her peers, from her sisters, her teammates, I just sit back and I smile, because she's worked for this. And now she says she's old. She's one of the old ones. But I just remember that young, fearless, competitive talent when I recruited her, where there was no limit to what she was going to accomplish, and just to see, how she has attacked that head on, and to know that she's a leader. She's one of our leaders, and I'm happy she's back on the floor. I'm happy she's healthy. And for those that might have forgot about her, hold on to your seat because she's better than ever.
No doubt about it. Coach, you said it. There's only one freshman on this team.
Yes.
And when you're bragging on a teammate
Yeah.
and people are constantly praising your leadership and their experience as well, what does that say about a person?
I mean, you know, it's not just me. And I do it with a team. You know, I am able to sit here with you, but it's the things you don't see. It's the people you don't see. I have a phenomenal team. I have a phenomenal staff. Like you said, from the coaches to the managers, it is a well-oiled machine. And so as a leader, I have to make sure the people around me feel supported, feel valued, feel appreciated. That's how we will have success. So obviously I'm grateful for that, but it's more about the people that I work with, that I get to do this with every day, and how we'll do it together.
Coach A, I've only been around you a few times, but I would say, and we're going to be together more as the year goes on,
Yes.
but you radiate positivity, you radiate happiness.
Yes.
Where do you find those emotions and keep those going?
Look what I get to do. You know, I'm the head women's basketball coach at Arizona State. You know, Power 4 conference, people dream about this. And I get to live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it, think it every day. There's nothing to be negative about. You know, life has adversity, right? There are ups and downs, there are changes, you know, but roll with it. We have to be the example. If we teach our we tell our student athletes to do that every day, right? You have to adjust, you have to pivot. We call an audible. We do all these different things in game situations. We got to call a timeout. We may have to make an adjustment. And so that's just who we are. And where I get it from, I'm sure it's my mom and dad, right? I talk to them every day. I talk to my brother and sister every day. And every day it's about, what are we attacking today? Right? Celebrating the small victories. And so I think that's also a learned behavior. You have to learn how to tell yourself today's a good day, but then you live it and you appreciate it. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm living in my purpose and God's plan for me. So why not smile and be glad about it?
It's authentic.
Yeah.
And another thing that's authentic about your program as a whole is the community work you guys do.
Yes.
And I know a lot of programs love to say they do things in the community. You guys are active in the community, and you make no frills about that.
No.
I mean, how special is that to continue to be that way in your program?
Well, as a leader, I always talk about our job, and my job is to lead, serve, and impact, right? And service is so important because so many people make things transactional, right? We really want people to know that we care. And I want our student athletes to know, because again, as student athletes, you are afforded a lot of opportunities that others aren't. And we are still role models. We are still examples. You don't know the amount of people that look up to us for having these opportunities, but also this status. And I want our student athletes to know that there is a community around us. There's a community that we need to continue to engage with. Because again, the Sun Devil community is real. You're talking about first generation, second generation, third generation Sun Devils, and we don't want to take that for granted. And so, if there's an opportunity for our program to serve, if there's an opportunity for us to give back, we will make that our priority, and that's our way to say thank you.
It's unbelievable, and I know the community will reciprocate that energy. So 2 more dates I'm going to throw at you before we let Coach A go. Saturday, so the 12th.
Yes.
So just a couple days.
Okay.
Open practice, Weather Up Center.
Yes.
Noon to 4 p.m.
Yes.
Anyone can come out.
Yes.
That's going to be exciting. Kind of get to know the team, get to know the coaching staff a little more.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes. So
October 12th, this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
She's got it.
This Saturday.
And then, of course, we've said the date a couple of times. It's going to be here in Tempe, November 4th, Jacksonville State.
Yes.
That's when the ball gets rolled out on the floor.
Opening night. It's showtime. It is
It's
showtime. It is showtime. November 4th. Come out. Check us out. The players have been working extremely hard. Brand new team. A ton of energy. We have height. We have size. We have depth. We have competitiveness. And we have a will to win. This is a special group. We need you in the building.
I'm ready to run through a wall. Here we go. Coach A joining us. Big thank you for joining us, and good luck this season. I hope it's a phenomenal year, and judging by your excitement, it's going to be.
It will be.
We'll be back with more on the Sun Devil Radio Network.
Go Devils.